Hi families, Miss Davis here. We're going to do a short video on time. Your scholars have been learning about it for a couple of weeks. In general, our scholars know about our hour hands, how it's a shorthand, our minute hand, how it's a longhand. How our hour hands, we count by ones. When we go around the clock, we use these numbers, but when we're using our minute hand, we have to count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on around the clock. A big thing about learning time this year is one, they're going to the nearest 5 minutes, and two, they really need to understand that hour hand and how it moves as we're going from 1 hour to the next. So, as we're going from 5 o'clock, 5:15, our hour hand's moving. 5:30, our hour hand is directly in between the 5 and the 6 because the hour right now is directly in between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. 5:45, getting even closer to 6 o'clock, so our hour hand's getting even closer. 5:50, 5:55, it looks like it's on the 6, and this is a common misconception students have. They'll look at this time right here and say, oh, my hour hand's on the 6, my minute hand's on the 11, so this time is 6:55. But in reality, it's almost 6 o'clock. It's still in the 5 o'clock hour, and if we're thinking about it, 6:55 would mean it's almost 7 o'clock, so that doesn't quite make sense. I'm going to walk through a couple ways we're going to draw our clocks, and then we're going to look at a question that a lot of our scholars got tricked on. So this says the time is 7:05, so scholars should be thinking in their head, 7:05, is that closer to 7 o'clock? Is it right between 7 and 8? Or is it closer to 8 o'clock? Well, 7:05, that means it just passed 7 o'clock, so we're going to put our hour hand, our short hand, close to that 7. And then our minute hand, because we're counting by 5s, and we would encourage a lot of students to actually draw this out as they go around, and at least one of their clocks on their page, so that they have that as a reference point. So 7:05. Then we go on to 7:30. Scholars again thinking, okay, 7:30, is it closer to 7? Is it right in the middle of 7 and 8, or is it closer to 8? They're going to put the hour hands right in between the 7 and the 8 at 7:30. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And again, as we go on with our progression, same thinking process. 7:50, it's closer to 8 o'clock. It's not quite 8, but my hour hand's going to be very close right there. And then again, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That's some examples there of how that progression works. If your scholar seems like they're struggling on this, have them watch this video, have them draw out a few times in progression because it's very easy for them to see how it has to move from one to the other. Now I'm going to put up that question that a lot of scholars got tricked on last week, and I would even argue that this clock isn't as accurate as it should be. This hour hand looks like it's directly on that 2 point. It should be a little bit this way, but even if we think about it, saying that this time is 2:50 here, which a lot of our scholars put, would mean that it's 10 minutes until 3 o'clock. So that would mean that our hour hand would actually need to be almost on that 3. So that should be the thinking that our scholars should be going through. Okay, 2:50, does that make sense? Is it almost 3 o'clock? If not, even though it looks like it's on the 2, that just doesn't make sense. So it must still be 1:50 because my minute hand's on the 10 and I can tell it's about to be the next hour there. Okay, families, thanks so much for